Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Corey Barnes, and this evening I will be presenting to you my observation of black males as a subculture. I chose this group first and foremost because I am a black male and have overcome many obstacles myself. The second reason being, I wanted to get a third-person point of view of how the subculture interacts with one another in an academic setting. I had the opportunity to work with the organization Black Male Initiative, which gave me a unique perspective of black males as a subculture. Without further ado, let us begin. What do you feel are some common stereotypes of black males?
I would say common stereotypes would be, thuggish, athletic, like, they're very, athletic individuals. You think aggressive, angry, uneducated. I don't remember if I said that or not. As far as when you look on TV, that's what you see. You see, the typical black male that you'll notice that you see on the media either is a thug, is somebody that's uneducated, is somebody that's aggressive, that's angry, a rapper, something along that line. When you think about something that I think is a type of, not to say that is typical, but, I think that's sometimes what can be seen of black males.
Okay. The following excerpt comes from Dr. J. Luke Wood's 2011 article, Falling Through the Cracks, an early warning system can help black males on the community college campus. The number of African American male students in community colleges is significantly lower than their female and majority counterparts. In fact, more than a quarter of black males leave community colleges within their first year. After 3 years, 55% will drop out without attaining a degree. This represents the highest dropout rate among every racial, ethnic, and gender subgroup. What do you think can be done to negate this stereotype?
I think having different programs such as like being our Black Male Initiative, because a lot of African American males really don't have fathers in their household. I think if you kind of look at the average African American male, they grew up without a father or a positive male role model. So really having programs that kind of dispel that stereotype, really work with them to, really have a backbone and pushing them to do better in their classes, helping them to study. I think it's definitely great to negate those type of stereotypes and make sure that they're not really just living up to what they have seen or been accustomed to seeing all the time.
I think, is Ryan in the room? Who? Ryan. Yeah. Now, I thought you made an announcement last week, or maybe it was a few weeks ago, about the young man who had the signature for that position or something like that. Could you make that announcement one more time? I got the sheet right here. I'm not fully 100% sure.
Yeah, it was just basically just a petition against them putting the police station right across the street from the Center for Black Studies.
That's a different one.
That's something else. That's something else. Yeah, that was another one that I maybe it's another one.
This is about the young man with black
Oh, yeah, no, that was.
And lastly, Thaddeus and Jarrell were talking about the internship fair, the job fair, and I remember last week Shondell spoke about, he gave away those little flyers with the little website where you could go take an interview. Did anybody go on there and do that? Honestly, I didn't think so. So a lot of the things that people struggle on when they go to these things are the interviews. You get caught up on your words, you stumble. Even the most intelligent person can mess up. So what I'm going to do right now is real quick, I'm going to put somebody on the spot. So Justin, can you stand up? I'm going to ask you 2 questions that are very often asked in an interview or some sort of question similar to it to see what your answers are. They're random. So first question, name 5 of your best characteristics.
5 of my characteristics, let's see. I have good communication skills. leadership. I'm good in communications, good at listening.
You only got one. Still have one. Keep going. Now, mind you, in the interview, he's going to be looking at you serious. He or she is going to have a serious face and just waiting for you to answer.
Okay, so which one did you accept?
You want to say you said communication. Everything you just said right there is about communication. You said you got skills and leadership. Okay, I give you two.
Okay,
you got
so
two.
Good leadership skills, good communication skills. Listening will be a part of communication, right? Yeah, I'm just making sure.
Yeah. Let's say you can follow that right.
Okay. 3 more.
Long way to go. Alright, you can stop. You can stop. Wait.
I got distracted because everybody.
I understand. But it's gonna be a lot more nerve-wracking. You're in here with a bunch of guys that you pretty much know, and it's cool. It's it's a joke, but in the actual interview, it's gonna be serious. If you say, look around, let me think, he's gonna be like in the back of his head, nah, it's not happening. You gotta be quick with the responses, be able to name your characteristics, and everybody was laughing about it, but probably most of us have got caught up on this before for some sort of job interview or something. And the question I hate the most, which I'm about to ask you now, is what could you bring to the company?
Make sure that when this happens with financial aid, you do it the first week. Like one thing that I'm actually doing is my financial aid is done. Financial aid opens January 1st. My financial aid is done by the 3rd. So you want to get in the habit of doing financial aid when it's due because, well, the sooner the better because they're going to throw more money at you and like there's grants included. And don't be afraid to take out loans. I know a lot of people like, man, I ain't taking out loans, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. If you need to take out a loan, take out that loan because once you get on the college campus, you'll find more ways to get money. Like it's all about who you know and what kind of work you put in. So like, for instance, if everything works out for me, I find out next Wednesday, if I get to position, they're gonna pay for my housing, my meal plan, and that's gonna be like at least $6,000-$7,000. That's all I gotta do. So yeah, so it's like once you get on campus, you're gonna find more ways to come up on some kind of money to reduce that cost. So
Let me interject really quickly on the topic of loans because I've worked in financial aid. I want you all to be very careful. When you go to college, you will have the opportunity to take out a lot of money in loans. But make sure that money is specifically for education. Don't take out loans to buy cars because people do that. People will take out $10,000 loan to buy a new motorcycle and not realize that you have to pay that money back, plus interest. So you can take out more than that. You can take out a lot of money in loans, and then when you get out of college, owe lots of money, and then try to figure out how you got to pay that back. So be very careful with that because they don't do credit checks for a government loan. The student loan is easier to get than any other type of loan. So you will have that power, but you have to be very careful not to abuse it because it is abused quite often. So be very careful with the loans that you utilize when you're in college.
And to add what he just said, when you get to college, you take these loans out. If you flunk out, you still got to pay that money back. If you flunk out, you still got to pay that money back. That should be an incentive to stay in school. I think you have, 6 months? After 6 months, you got to be back in school.
we got to start paying.
You got to start paying that money back. And if you don't pay that money back, man, I'm telling you, I think it's called, your loan's going to default. And when that happens, your credit's shot.
Yeah, you can't get that off. When you default on a loan, that's like the worst thing. It's worse than not paying your credit card on time, defaulting on the student loan.
A reason for you guys when you get done, I don't care what the reason is to go to college. I don't care if it's to see the girls or whatever it may be. When you get done, stay there. Finish.
In conclusion, for many black males, college is their ticket out of their current condition. What makes this subculture unique is that it is a subsidy of a larger subculture that is African American. Black males are greatly outnumbered by their female counterparts in the college setting, which makes male college students even more significant. Without college, many black males who lack direction run the risk of embracing a life of crime, which oftentimes leads to incarceration or death. Gassman 2011, in Louisiana, for instance, while black men make up 32% of the population, they account for 66% of the prison population. According to Mason, the impact of this pipeline for prison on people, families, communities, society as a whole is profound. Unemployment fosters crime and leads to fatherless homes, underprepared toddlers, underperforming students, dropouts, and underprepared high school graduates, which leads back to underemployment, unemployment, and crime. The black male subculture faces many tough challenges and tackles many issues in day-to-day life and during collegiate experiences as well. The great part is that there is always someone not too far to help if you look for it. There are always ways to make connections and build relationships with people who can relate to you and show you they made it through. Being involved this semester with the Black Male Initiative has been a reward, and I am truly grateful for the new connections I have made here on campus because of it. Thank you.